This is going to be interesting. This video is, I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared to make this video. But I'm also like really excited. New things, man. New year's. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's stop procrastinating. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Vlogmas. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my 2023 no-buy. My notes are on my phone, so if you catch me looking down, that's what's going on here. I love speaking extemporaneously. It's my favorite way to do things, but this is one of those videos where I really need to kind of keep myself in line because I could head off into whole new territories. And we're not going to do that. We're just going to get through this. This past year, 2022, about halfway through the year, I knew that I wanted to get some of my spending habits under control. I grew up at the poverty line, below the poverty line, and as I grew up, my fear of money and my fear of talking about money and my fear of my bank account, it put me into all sorts of problems, into the check system, into bankruptcy, all of these other things. And I always was somebody who would struggle spending money on the smallest things because I was worried about being in like a financial dire strait. We have, as a family here, gotten a little bit more financially secure, and then we got rid of a big chunk of our stuff in 2021 and then moved to Denver for my husband's job. And I had to refurnish this house because we got rid of most of our furniture instead of moving it. Suddenly it was like my spending habits started to get out of control. And so I decided in the summer to do what I called hot wallet summer, where I had a pretty strict no-buy on the categories of beauty and makeup, skincare, clothes and accessories, home goods, plants and books, and planner shit. And it went pretty well. So I decided to continue it through the rest of the year with like a low spend under budgets. It never hurt. There were some times where I was like, no, I'm not going to go to the store because I'm on no spend, but it felt like a novelty. It never really hurt. I never really felt it. And because I never really felt it, I don't think it really shifted my habits. I can still feel that kind of compulsion in there. And what I want is a reset. So around October, I started having this thought that maybe what I should do is something a little more drastic and do a full year no-buy and see if that helps reset my habits when it comes to spending, my mindset when it comes to money, and I can feel a little bit less wishy-washy about it. The things that I learned though, the lessons I took from my pseudo no-spends, no-buys this past year, the biggest one was I have to simplify it and make it less complicated, and I need more accountability. So those are things I'm bringing into this no-buy. We're going to talk about them right now. Let's first talk about the premise of the no-buy. So the premise is a year-long no-buy. This year I am doing 3 very specific categories. The first category is my planner stationery art supply category. Now that feels not so specific. It feels pretty broad, but in my head, it's actually not broad. All of these like pens, markers, stickers, paints, blah, blah, blah. Now, there are going to be exceptions built in. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, we're just going to go over the categories. The second category is going to be beauty and skincare. And the third category is going to be the one that I was avoiding this last year when I was talking about books and plants and all the other things. I was avoiding what really is the most out of control spending category in my entire life right now, and that is food delivery. Thanks, COVID. If the pandemic has done one thing for me, it has gotten me hooked on things like DoorDash. It's just so easy to order food rather than go out and get it. And I can recognize that for some people, the accessibility of that is really fantastic. And sometimes it's something that I could really use, but it has gotten way out of control. Like if we look at our expenses for the last year, that's the line item that needs to be slashed. So those are the categories. Here is the accountability piece. Every month I will be posting a accountability video to go over the past month and to account for everything. We'll talk a little bit more about this when I get into some of the rules, and I'm going to make sure to film this after the first of the month. So this isn't going to be like my goals videos where I set them up a week before the month ends and then post it. No, I won't film this until the first of the month, at least. But those videos will be my accountability to you, and if you are going to join me in anything akin to this, then they can be your accountability. We can be accountability buddies. My desired outcomes for this particular no-buy for the year are to reset my habits and behaviors, to use more of what I have so I can pare it back, and to save money and to pay off any outstanding debts that we have in this house. So Yeah, let's talk about the rules. And we're going to go through each category because the rules are specific to each category. The stationery category. The big rule is there is no purchasing whatsoever. Use what you have. There are 2 exceptions, and these are very specific exceptions. The first exception is if I run out of specific supplies that I will use in my professional artwork. When I do professional artwork, I need to know exactly how the paints are going to perform, how the color pencils are going to perform, how the paper is going to perform. These are things that I depend upon when I do commissioned work or when I do professional artwork, like for my Etsy shop. I need these things to work in a specific way. So experimenting or going off book with the other shit that I have, it's really not an option. But I have them listed, so I know exactly what they are. It's my Prismacolor colored pencils, the 20 colors that I use in my work watercolor palette. There are very specific colors. It's a lineup of colors that I like to use for those specific things. And then the specific paper that I use. And I buy it in huge sheets from Dick Blick, and I divide them into smaller sheets. These specific things. So if I run out of Prismacolor colored pencils in specific colors, then I can order those to replenish the colors I use. Same with the colors for the paint palette, same with the paper. I don't anticipate running out of the paint or out of the paper. I have quite a bit of both of those for my last Blick order, but the color pencils, especially the greens, I tend to run through really quickly. So if I run out of any of those colors, then I can definitely order them, and I don't have to wait till I'm completely out. I can make sure to order them as I need them, just because it sucks when you're in the middle of a commission and you have to wait for 2 days for something to show up, especially because there's no Dick Blick around here. It's just, those things are specific. But when it comes to experimenting or doing other sorts of tutorial-based stuff or just playing around with watercolors, I have to use what I have. This is just specifically for my work supplies. The second exception is if I want to order something for this channel for review, like a planner or planning adjacent products. I had to think really hard about this because doing planner reviews is part of my channel. I like to review things. I like to spend money that I earn through making these videos on things to review so that you don't have to, so that you can see them and get my honest opinions of them and get some more information before spending your money. I have the resources to do that because I have this channel and there's money I set aside for that. But I also know, and this last year was a prime example of that, where I will buy things for the channel that aren't really for the channel. I just want them, and I use that as my excuse. So I had to figure out a way to still be able to review things for the channel, but not have the option to just go buy whatever planner shit I want willy-nilly and say it's for the channel. So here is my plan. I have a monthly budget of $100. In the past, I haven't really budgeted a specific amount. I've just kind of gone off of whatever comes in from my AdSense, but I'm going to set a specific budget of $100 per month. If I know there's something that I'm going to review that's going to cost more than $100, I can let the budget roll over to the next month so I can make that purchase. However, unless there is something like that that is already on my list of things to buy, I can't roll it over. It's just $100 slate each month. The second piece of my planner and planner adjacent for review exception is I have to itemize everything I bought in that $100 budget in those accountability videos I'm going to post each month to hold myself accountable to you. And if I posted in this video that I bought it this month, if 2 months later a video has not appeared on my channel, I will have broken my no spend. So this is a way for me to both be accountable to the budget, to be accountable to you, to be accountable to myself, and to really make sure that if I buy something for the channel, I'm using it for the channel. And thirdly, when it comes to PR, I can be sent PR. Now, I don't get sent PR from a ton of companies. Some of them don't want to send them to somebody who cusses so much, and I turn down a lot of PR. I'm not interested in bringing in a whole bunch of shit into my house. But if I do accept it, whether it is through free stuff getting sent to me, then I need to, again, itemize everything I was sent that month in that video so that, again, same rule applies, video has to go up within 2 months. My rules for beauty are a little less complicated because I'm not a beauty channel, I don't accept PR, I don't buy shit for my channel. It's basically just what I use personally. So the main rule is no purchasing, use what you have with one exception. If I run out of something in a category, that includes travel items, sample items. I'm not going to be doing any big traveling as I'm starting dialysis, so I can use all that shit up before it goes bad. If it's all gone, everything, all of my toner is all gone. I have no travel toner. I have no toner left. I can replace it with one item. But I have to use everything I have in that category. Everything. That's my rule. And then my third category, food delivery. Here are my rules. Absolutely no ordering food delivery, whether through DoorDash or through another app or through the company's app. I've been asked, because I was talking through some of this with my patrons, if I was going to police Jesse and the kids. No, I'm not going to police them, but I am the one in charge of dinner. And so dinner is on me to figure out about this. But if Jesse wants to order DoorDash for lunch, he can do that if he wants to. The kids don't really order unless we do it for them, so it depends on who they ask, I guess. I can order takeout, but I have to go pick it up. The problem with DoorDash is it makes it so easy to just click it on the app and not worry about it. If I have to go pick it up, I think more about it. And I can order grocery delivery for two reasons. One, I actually don't like getting grocery delivery. I like to pick my own stuff out. I don't want someone else doing it. I also really like going to the grocery store. It's my zen time. I'm a weirdo. I worked in grocery stores for 20 years and I like going to grocery stores. However, I'm also recognizing that I am going to be doing dialysis this next year, and having grocery delivery as an option is really important. Now you may say, but wouldn't food delivery also be an option? Well, most food that gets delivered is not food that my dietitian for dialysis would be happy with me eating purely because of the salt content. So they kind of go hand in hand. The third exception is that I'm going to limit myself to no more than 2 takeout meals per week. So I can go out and get food, but I can't get takeout meals more than twice per week. I will allow myself, if I'm going to run through the drive-thru to get something to drink, that doesn't count. I'm talking about food. So, because sometimes I just need something to drink. But that also might change with dialysis when my fluid intake gets cut. It's going to be a whole new world. So yeah, that's the no food delivery. And it's, whew. So those are all the rules. This is kind of how I'm going to be approaching this. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video every month to keep myself accountable. And I'm hoping that at some point I'm going to start to feel it. And it's going to start to be painful to be on this. Because I think that what I need to really change the habit is to feel it. If it just feels like I'm trotting along my way through something, I haven't made it difficult enough to stick to. Another thing I'm going to be doing this next month is doing some videos in January showing you what I'm starting with. This is mostly going to be in the planner, stationery, and art supplies kind of range. I know I'm going to just need a video on its own of washi tape, but like I'm going to do some videos kind of showing you where I'm beginning this year with, so both we can see what I'm using up this year, and also at the end of the year I can kind of compare and see how much of it I actually used up. If you would like me to do something similar with my beauty and skincare stuff, which is nowhere near as big of a collection as my art supplies and my planner shit, let me know in the comments. They're not on my plan. It's only stationery stuff that's currently on my plan, but if you'd like to see beauty and skincare stuff, I can do that as well. Just let me know. I want to know what I'm beginning with so I can kind of know how I'm going to end the year out with. Also, the biggest reason to do it is so that I have an idea of what I have, so if I think I'm out of something, I'll know better. I tried to think of like a clever hashtag or something to use, but I'm just going to use hashtag #NoBuy2023. I'm sure there'll be other people doing no buys using the same hashtag. That's fine with me. If you want to join in, let me know down below. We can utilize this space as like a accountability and like a place to talk through. Everybody will have their own ideas. Leave what rules you're setting for yourself down below. You may ask, Cindy, why aren't you including books or plants or household stuff? I don't think that those are my real problems anymore. Those, when I stopped buying them for the hot wallet summer, that actually was the easiest kind of thing to let go of. And I feel like I needed some perspective on that. It's the beauty and the stationery and the DoorDash that I really need to cut back on. So those are the things I'm focusing on. I figure if I do too many categories for the whole year, it's going to be harder for me to stick to. This way it's nice and simple. I'm not going to be avoiding stores. That was another thing I did during Hot Wallet Summer. I did reorganize my phone and put all of those apps and like shopping apps and food delivery apps. I got rid of the food delivery apps and I'm putting the shopping apps somewhere that are hard to get to. But I'm not going to stop going into stores like I did for Hot Wallet Summer, because what I need is not to avoid it. I need to be able to go into those places. Like if Sunny needs something from Michael's, I need to be able to go in there with them and be okay not buying anything. If I just avoid it, then what happens the next time I have to go in there to get something? Am I going to go fucking hog wild? We don't know. So that's my thought on it. Anyway, like I said, leave your ideas in the comments, your rules, your suggestions, whatever. I'd love to hear about it from you. So those are the categories. Here is the accountability piece. Every month I will be posting a accountability video to go over the past month and to account for everything. We'll talk a little bit more about this when I get into some of the rules, and I'm gonna make sure to film this after the first of the month. So this isn't gonna be like my goals videos where I set them up a week before the month ends and then post it. No, I won't film this until the first of the month, at least. But those videos will be my accountability to you, and if you are gonna join me in anything akin to this, then they can be your accountability. We can be accountability buddies. My desired outcomes for this particular no-buy for the year are to reset my habits and behaviors, to use more of what I have so I can pare it back, and to save money and to pay off any outstanding debts that we have in this house. So yeah, so it's now that we've got that, let's go into each category's rules a little bit more deeply. We're gonna be doing any sort of no-buy next year, whether if it's for the whole year or for just a month. Let me know if you're along for the ride on this. I am excited about it and a little scared, and I think that's a good thing. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, my friends, peace.